This slide focuses on Article 4 and Annex 2, which deal with the classification of equipment into categories based on certain criteria. There are 8 categories, and the classification depends on 4 main factors: the type of equipment, the nature of the fluid involved, the hazard group it belongs to, and the operating conditions, specifically the product of pressure and volume or diameter. Starting with Article 4.3, we have the concept of SEP, or sound engineering practice. This applies to equipment that falls below the Category I thresholds. For these items, the stringent essential safety requirements don't apply, and there is no obligation for conformity assessments or CE marking. However, adequate instructions for safe use must be provided, and the equipment can still freely move within the market. For equipment that exceeds these thresholds, the categories range from I to 4, representing increasing levels of hazard. Category I is for low hazard equipment, Category 2 for moderate hazard, Category 3 for high hazard, and Category 4 for very high hazard equipment. Any equipment classified within categories I to 4 must comply with the essential safety requirements outlined in Annex I. They must undergo a conformity assessment procedure, carry an EU declaration of conformity, and prominently display the CE marking to indicate compliance and safety. This system ensures that equipment is properly classified and regulated according to its potential risks. Here, we can see how the involvement of the notified body changes according to the hazard level of a product. The key point to note is that as the hazard level increases, the role of the notified body becomes more significant. For minor and low hazard levels, which fall under Article 4.4.3 and Category I respectively, there is no involvement from the notified body in either design or fabrication. When we move to moderate hazard, which is Category 2, the notified body doesn't review the design, but does perform checks during fabrication. For high hazard levels, Category 3, the notified body reviews both design and fabrication. Finally, at the very high hazard level, Category 4, the involvement intensifies further, with increased scrutiny on both design and fabrication processes. It's a structured approach aimed at maintaining safety without unnecessary oversight for lower-risk products. Here, we're looking at Article 13, Annex 2, which details the classification of fluid groups and types of equipment. First, let's consider the 2 main fluid groups. Group 1 includes dangerous fluids, as defined by the classification, labeling and packaging regulation, fluids that are explosive, flammable, oxidizing, toxic or very toxic, and corrosive. Also included here are any fluids that are above their flash point at the maximum operating temperature. Essentially, this group covers all fluids that pose a significant hazard. Group 2 consists of non-dangerous fluids. This group is made up of all other fluids not classified in Group 1, often referred to as non-hazardous fluids. These are further divided by their state, whether they are gases, including vapors and liquefied gases, or liquids. Moving on to equipment, there are 4 types classified according to Annex 2 graphs. First, en-fired vessels, which are sized based on their maximum allowable pressure, PS, and internal volume, V. Then we have fired or heated equipment, like steam or hot water generators, which operate at temperatures exceeding 110 degrees Celsius. Next is piping, which is sized according to its pressure rating, PS, and nominal diameter, DN. Lastly, accessories include safety and pressure accessories essential for maintaining safe operation of the equipment. Understanding these classifications helps ensure that the appropriate design, safety measures, and regulatory compliance are applied for different fluids and equipment types.